All right, so today's video, I'm going to talk to you about the thing that you must do, absolutely must do, if you're thinking of selling in the next 6 weeks, 6 months, or 6 years. And the best thing about this is that it is free and you can do it in the comfort of your home. I'm going to tell you the secret that most people don't understand until they're ready to sell their homes. You are getting in early, you are educated, so let's get to it. So have you ever been surprised when your neighbor's home goes on the market and you're like, holy cow, I cannot believe that they listed that house at that price? Or you're like, they're never going to get that price for the house, or they're leaving money on the table. I'm sure you have, because we all have. And then you go and you look at the pictures online and you think, well, they're never going to get that. And then they do. Or you think, oh my gosh, they've left money on the table. And then they really haven't. This video is going to show you exactly how you can figure out how much your home is worth and how you should be getting it ready without money. This is all about educating you. So let's get into it. So as I've told you numerous times, a buyer sets the market. It doesn't matter really what price you want for your home. It's what a buyer thinks it's worth. And there are lots of ways for you to increase the value of your home, from updates and painting to pricing correctly to getting a great agent. Now, today's video, I'm going to show you how you can figure out how much your home really should be priced at. In addition, I'm going to show you exactly the homes that are getting more money and the homes that are getting less money, just based upon the photos that they have, just based upon their presentation. So the step-by-step guide is going to be easy, it's going to be simple, but I want you to get to it right now. Pull out your computer and let's go. Okay, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to go to Zillow. You can go to homes.com or you can go to Zillow. I prefer Zillow because it shows you kind of the homes that have sold and how long they have been on the market. It's just a little easier for me to navigate. So when you go into Zillow, I want you to kind of scroll in and get into the area that your home is in. I want you to do kind of a tight area. I don't want you to do a gigantic area. And I want you to go and look for homes for sale. Now, I don't want you to put any other filters on it at all. I just want you to go and look at the homes for sale. Then I want you to scroll in and I want you to start looking at these homes. And I want you to start seeing what the homes are worth kind of in the neighborhood that you're in. So now what you're going to see when you're in Zillow is you're going to see all the homes that are for sale. And I want you to look at all of them. I want you to look at the pictures. I want you to look at the square footage. I want you to look at the number of bedrooms. I want you to kind of really dig into all of these homes that are on the market in your tight area. Then what I'd like you to do is to go in and then you're going to find the homes that have sold. Now, I don't want you just to pick all of the homes that have sold because you're going to see that there are a ton of them. So I want you to put a filter on this one. You're going to go in and you're going to choose in the last 6 months. Now, you can also choose the last 12 months if it's been kind of a slow market in your area. But then you're going to see the homes that have actually sold in the last few months. Now, I want you to go and do the same thing. I want you to go in, I want you to look at the homes, I want you to look at the pictures, I want you to look at the square footage, I want you to look at the bedrooms and the bathrooms. I want you to look at everything. I want you to become a local expert on homes that have sold in your tight area. I want you to become somebody who understands this market as well as your real estate agent does. Now, there are a lot of bad agents out there, which I've talked about, and many of the agents don't know the areas that your home might be in. So what you're going to do is you're going to look at all of these comps so that when the agent comes over with those comps, you're going to understand exactly what the homes that have sold in your neighborhood look like. Now, what you're really looking for is you're looking to see how well the homes show online. Because as I've told you many times, your first showing is online. And so your first showing has to be awesome. You don't have a second chance to make that first impression. And here it is absolutely true. The only time you can make another first impression is when you reduce that price, and you don't want to be there. So I'm going to dig in. I'm going to show you some of these photos. I'm going to show you some that look great and some that look not so great. I think you'll be able to tell the difference as I'm going through them. I'm also going to share my insights into how I think this home is presenting as well. So first, we're going to start with a few homes that look pretty good. Now, this home looks really nice on the outside. You can see that this is a twilight photo. You can have your agent take pictures of this with a twilight version. Now, I think they look really good, but it's not totally necessary. It just kind of adds some emotion to it. If you were looking at the rest of this house, it looks really nice. Now, it's the gray color on the walls is probably a little too cool of a gray color right now. I might go with something a touch warmer, but that's a very neutral color that people are going to like. Now, this house does look staged where this furniture has been brought in. I want you to note the way that this house looks with this furniture. This looks like something you'd see more in like HGTVs, something like that. You have those blue chairs there, which may or may not be your taste, But this shows really well. You can see that the pictures are very neutral. There is nothing in these pictures that show any sense of personality. And that's what you're looking for, because when somebody comes into your home, you don't want them to look at the pictures and be like, oh my gosh, I know them. They go to our church. Or, oh yeah, I went to high school with this person. You just want to make sure it's completely neutral, because that's the way people are going to remember you. I use this example a lot. It's a doll collection. Let's pretend you have a huge doll collection. And what's going to happen is somebody's going to come into the house and they're going to look at the doll collection, and then that's how they're always going to refer to your house. Remember that house we went to, the one with the doll collection, or the one with the spoons, things like that. So I want to make sure that you're depersonalizing everything in the home to make it very, very neutral. Now, I really do think that this house shows extremely well. You can see some of the detail there that they've got, like the stool in the shower with the towel, not that that's really used. I mean, obviously this is staged, showing the closet with the Louis Vuitton bags as well. But this is a very, very nice, decent home. Now, I want you to keep this home in mind as we're sort of looking at some other homes as well. Okay, now I'm going to show you a home that I would probably call like a surface shine home. One that has some of the things updated, but it's kind of just not in great condition as well. And you can tell this from the photos. So now I say it all the time, fake it, take it, make it. Fake it. You want to fake the way the house looks. Now, I get so many people who say, oh, you're just like one of those realtors who wants us to lie. No, I want you to make sure your home is in its best showing condition. That doesn't mean lie. It means maybe clean up your stuff. Maybe put away your personalized photos. That's what it really means. The goal is to make your first showing online look fantastic. So let's look at this home. There's some great pictures in here as well. So I think these are really pretty nice pictures. You can see the flowers. It looks nice and bright. Now they've chosen to paint the whole house white. The white house, the white walls, the white trim, everything's pretty much white, which is fine. You may think that has no character or anything like that, but that's okay. In photos, you want it to look like that. So now I'm looking at this one and I'm seeing that bit of red there in the other part of the room. And I'm wondering, what is that? What is that red? It's kind of like an orange red. And I see that it is a kitchen that's not super updated. So while the rest of the house is looking really nice, really beautiful, I'm sure you're getting people into it as far as like, wow, this looks great. Then you're like, okay, maybe the kitchen isn't great. Maybe the kitchen needs to be redone. Maybe it needs to be painted. Then I'm starting to see the rest of the house. And I can tell from pictures that that carpet on those stairs is really dirty. In addition, some of the carpet you can really tell is dirty in some of the other pictures. But they've continued to stage the home. And so it looks nice. All these things look nice. Now I'm starting to get a little like, what does that floor look like? Oh, the floor. Now, can you see this picture of the floor there? That floor does not look great at all. Now, it looks like this was a virtually staged picture right here. And then what they did is they showed you that that was the condition of the floors. So now I'm going through the rest of the house and I'm thinking, oh, wow, all these floors look bad. Now, this is a presentation issue because now you're starting to see that the rest of the house doesn't look great. But again, the staging looks nice. But now you're getting into these really ratty floors. Now this bathroom you can tell is a little bit older. The color is yellow. This color yellow doesn't really show well in pictures because it shows a little too warm. And a lot of buyers nowadays like more of the cool colors, not this bright warmth color. So you guys know I have these colors in my seller's playbook for you. That playbook is going to be your resource. If you haven't downloaded it, I am updating it all of the time. I want to make sure that you're going in there, you're looking at what you should update, what you shouldn't, what are the things you should do in order to stage your home, how should you price your home, and what are the questions you really need in order to choose an agent. Completely free. This is really an ebook. I probably should be charging for it, but go ahead and you'll see some of the specific things that I'm talking about in staging and some of the colors that might work and some that might not work. I don't really like this color. Yellow, as you can tell. Yeah, see, it's pretty yellow. I'm not loving that. But I'm looking through the rest of the house and now I'm like, oh my gosh, now why is this picture even in here? So now this is an editing of photos pictures. I'm not sure why you'd put this in here because obviously it looks like it's needing some work. Again, it needs some work. In addition, I can really tell that the floor is completely in bad condition. So these floors really definitely will probably need to be replaced. Now, the rest of the house does not look as good as the beginning of the house. So you got somebody in to look at these photos of the house, but now it's like, wow, now it doesn't look good. You want to make sure that all your photos are consistent and they're all looking good. So maybe you're now looking at these pictures thinking, wow, am I going to see this house? I want you to put yourself in the buyer's shoes. So they're looking at this house, they think these pictures look great, but now it does look like it needs some work. Are they going to go? Now, if they had chosen to edit those pictures out and maybe either refinish the floors or just not include them, maybe somebody's going to come into the house and they're going to see how great the house really is. And maybe they say, you know what? This house is so awesome. I'm going to just forget about the floors. I'll redo them myself. It's totally worth it. So you have to really understand how choosing the correct photos in your listing can have a huge impact on whether or not you're getting showings. So now I'm going to just go through a bunch of pictures with you and kind of show you what looks good, what doesn't look good, and tell you how you might be able to fix them, update them, make them present a little bit better with your first showing online. So you can see in this house, there is a lot of wood. Now, I talk about painting wood and I don't always love painting wood, but this house, this trim work, this kitchen, is very dated. You can tell that that kitchen is much, much older. The window frames, the valances, the tile. This is the type of house that while it looks super, super clean, it looks like it's in great condition, it just may not show well online because now a buyer's looking at it thinking, wow, there's a lot of work that I need to do in this home in order to get it ready. So when you're thinking, should I paint all this trim work? Yeah, you know what? I probably wouldn't in this type of house because the house really is dated. You have the dated bathrooms, you have the dated kitchen. Now this one is probably in pretty good condition, but it really needs quite a lot of updates. Now I know you're starting to see it and you're like, Katie, they all kind of look the same to me. Maybe they do, but that's why I kind of want to show you this one. Now this home, the pictures are really terrible. So remember, when I'm talking about fake it, take it, make it, fake it, you're going to fake how the house looks. Remember, you're going to make it show ready, and then you're going to take great pictures, and then you're going to make your money. Now, if you can't get people into the door, if there's something not bringing them into the door, it's probably either the photos or the presentation of the home. Now, while this house does seem like it's incredibly charming, you can see that these pictures are just not good. One thing I talk about in all of the pictures that I recommend is you not do vertical shots unless you have to. And that's because you can't see as much in the pictures. Now, you can see that these are really probably taken with an iPhone. It really doesn't look great. The pictures are not good, and the condition of the home is not great either. So you really have to think about the type of agent that you're choosing and the photos that they are using and how they are taking them. Don't underestimate what great photos will do for your listing. These buyers will come in if your photos look good, if the condition looks great. And I'm guessing this place probably has a little bit of charm, but because the photos are so bad, they're probably losing a lot of showings. But one of the things I do want to mention is that this house, it is calling for highest and best offers. So that means that it's probably in a very good location. It's probably priced okay. So now if this is your home, if you're feeling like this is your home and it needs maybe some work, or maybe you've done one or two things here, you want to make sure that you're not putting too much money into the house, and you want to make sure that it's priced correctly. I'm going to guess that this home is priced correctly for the market. Many of you may not know that right at this moment, but the more you do over time doing your research on homes that are selling in your market or homes that have sold in your market, the more you're going to understand the correct pricing. One of the ways to get the correct pricing is definitely to have an agent come in. Now, many of you don't want an agent to come in because you don't want to bother with somebody. However, I really do believe it's important that you have an agent come in early to kind of build that rapport with you and to give you this guidance over the course of time. It can be really hard to find a good agent that you like. That's why we always offer up to you. If you are looking for a great agent in your neighborhood, let me know. We'll refer you 2 to 3 agents that have sold in your neighborhood that really have the great transactional experience. And we also provide you in our seller's playbook all of those questions that you can ask an agent when they come in. So that is one way you can kind of find out how much a house is worth. I know you might not want to be bothered by them, but it's really a great way to understand what you should put into the house and what you shouldn't. So I'm going to guess that this house is priced appropriately, but it would have done so much more for this house if the pictures had been great. Remember, fake it, take it, and make it. Now this house I'm showing you because it's a little more dated and it's fine. You know, it's not anything really spectacular. However, many of you may find you're in a situation like this where you do have a dated home. Maybe it's not exactly what young buyers are looking for. However, this home really could probably make more money if it was staged. I want you to look at these pictures and I want you to try and envision energy and joy from them. And it's going to be very hard to do that because there's no feeling. Remember, what you're selling is somebody's future. You're selling them a life. You're selling them energy and love and family. And when your pictures and your home is not conveying this warmth or this energy, it does really, really have an impact. So as a buyer, I want you just to look at these pictures and I want you to think, wow, imagine if this was warmer as far as, furniture or just something that felt more engaging and bringing people in. Imagine the difference that this home would have, and it does distinguish you. So this really comes into play in the staging area. And some homes I don't think you need to stage. This home, I probably would have staged this home. Even the paint color is not that bad, but this would have really, really helped get the home probably sold a little bit quicker. Now, I don't love virtual staging. I don't love it because if you're going to spend the money on virtual staging, you're kind of faking it. But yes, you're faking the energy of the house. And then they're expecting this energy when they get there, and they're kind of disappointed when it's a virtual staged house. So I don't always recommend that. And I know many of you think virtual staging is the same as regular staging. It's not. It really is not. So I would have probably in this house recommended that they had this home staged. So here's another example of a home that I really, really feel like probably should have been staged. It will just increase that warmth, that energy. And, I will tell you, you can feel energy when you walk into a house. And it's something that maybe I've learned over time, but buyers can feel it. They don't necessarily know what it is. So do not underestimate making them feel comfortable and homey when they walk inside. So now this home, it does have some dated furniture. I don't know if I would take out all the furniture and then stage the house. However, I don't love these pictures. I think the pictures could be brighter. They could be crisper. So if you're choosing not to kind of stage it or to do a lot of work on the inside, you've got to make sure those pictures look fantastic. Now this home has been on the market a while, and I just want to go through it. And as you guys know, I talk about it, is that when homes are on the market for too long, it's always because of the price. Always, always, always. If you reduce your price, your home will sell. Because if I put your home on the market for $1, yes, it would sell. So you wouldn't hear any objections. You wouldn't hear anything about the fact that you're in a bad location or your kitchen isn't done. So it's always the price if the home isn't selling. And that's why you really have to look at what the market is doing. If the market is really, really crazy, your price can be higher. If the market is not, then your price needs to be lower. So that is understanding the market. That's what this whole video is about, making sure you go in and you understand kind of the nuances of your market, understand what's selling and what's not selling. So this house I'm going to show you has been on the market a while, and I want to go in and kind of talk to you about what they could do to help the house get it sold. So first of all, as I talk about, you really need to get people into the pictures right away. Like this picture here is not really helping bring people into the home. It's not that great of a photo. It's not staged. There's no plants out there. It's all the outside of the photos are at the beginning of the listing. And if you have too many, people are just going to go right by it because they're like, I don't have time to look through all these pictures. So they had like 15 photos before you even get into the home. Now, when I'm looking at this home, I think the color is not fantastic in the house. It's really a little too mustardy, but that could also be because of the way the photo is shot. I'm not really loving these pictures. The green carpet, some buyers might not like that, but it's okay. I mean, the house looks like it's in pretty decent condition. But when you go into these big rooms, these big gigantic rooms, there's no energy, there's no emotion, there's no feeling there. The carpet looks okay. The color you can kind of make work, but if you look, you can see how bright this light is up there. And that really means that the picture has not been exposed correctly. So when they're trying to expose pictures, they're exposing them from the outdoors and the indoors. And that's indicative that this photographer just didn't quite get it correct. You can see in this one, it's very yellow. You can see the colors just aren't really inviting and warm. So you can't underestimate how much photos are going to bring people into the house, because if a buyer isn't feeling that energy right here, then they're not going to come in. I mean, this house actually looks pretty decent. The kitchen isn't terrible. The photos just are not fantastic. Now, if they had staged this house, it might have helped. So they didn't fake it. They didn't take great pictures. So my guess is that they're not really going to make the money. Even green carpeting like this, even if you have something like this in your house, if you stage this, that carpeting would kind of go away. People really wouldn't see it. When you're only looking at that, all you see is the green carpeting. So the purpose of this video is to really show you what you need to do right now. Even if you're not thinking about moving for many years, you have to start educating yourself. You have to understand, what are buyers like? What are they looking for? What updates I should make? You also need to understand, what are your neighbors' homes selling for? You have to realize buyers set the market, right? And if a buyer is not paying what you thought your house was worth for your neighbor's house, there's a good chance your house is not worth that. That's why you need to start now. You have to start doing your research. I've got my Facebook group. You guys can always join in and pop your pictures in there, and I'll go ahead and answer those for you if you need to update something, if you have some questions. We have a great fun community there. In addition, we have our live Q&A sessions that you can come in, ask me any questions that you have about getting your home ready to sell, ask me about agents, whatever it is. Now, I have all of these videos that come out, and what is really, really a big deal for us is if you subscribe. Because if you subscribe and you think this video was really, really important, it's going to get pushed out to more people who are just like you. So I don't want you to miss any of these, and I don't want anybody else to miss these either. You guys know I'm here for you whenever you need me, because I want to make you a profitable homeowner.